how do you feel that, like you mentioned that you've been doing this now for a really long time, meaning like the political commentary, but like in the last 4 years, how do you see how your art's evolved, like in tandem with that?
Well, I feel like there's more demand for that kind of work. Not to say that that's what has been pushing it, but it creates like a wider audience for me to get those messages out. And I mean, I would be trying to get those messages out if I wasn't an artist in other ways. I just have this fortunate kind of, easily digestible skill that people can, find a piece that I did. It can resonate with them. They can reach out. They can follow other things. I don't want to be like, if I could have it my way, I would prefer not to be a political artist. But that's only under the circumstances that things are not as bad for as many people. I mean, there's always people who've been subjugated, and people who we should be fighting for if we have privilege, if we have ability, if we have a voice. So I definitely think that there's more reason to make that kind of work, and there's more people who are paying attention to it. But it is a responsibility. It's an obligation that if you're doing something creative, and especially if you have some kind of audience of people who are paying attention to the work that you're making, you shouldn't be doing things that are devoid of content in a time when it's so crazy. I mean, if you look at it in the context of like other historical times, would you want to be the one painting farmlands during the Nazis invasions? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. unless it's relevant to that time, now's the best time to use this skill I have, or that any of us have. Now's the best time to use our voice, because it's getting traction, and couldn't be more blatant that, people need to make some changes. The world needs to make changes. We as a country and as a society need to, get better. So why not use this little voice?
And until, you're driven essentially to present this political work while there's this deep need for it. And hopefully all that work that we're doing will one day, put us back into a time of like smoother waters where you can just sail into your imagination, which just sounds like
yeah.
what you'd like to do, which I totally understand.
I mean, like a lot of the work, if you look at my catalog as a whole, people wouldn't probably, initially say he's a political artist, nor would I want that to be the only thing I'm putting out. It's just that it's so important right now to do that, and anything that you're doing right now, because we're in this really tumultuous, weird time, should be for a cause. And then if you need some time to like wind down and make some weird, fantastical, imaginative worlds, you could do that too. But to only do that, or to do it kind of in a vacuum outside of what's going on around you, I think it's kind of selfish. I think that it doesn't really, it's hoarding of a skill that can be used for betterment.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, it's awesome to hear an artist talking about active social activism, because you don't, most people don't do it.